7 p.m. Ms. Howell, if you will call the roll, please.
Ms. Schilling. Mr. Dawson. Mr. Ritt. Ms. Schulist.
Here.
Mr. Callie.
Here.
Mr. Pape.
Here.
Mr. King.
Here.
Vice Mayor McDonald.
Here.
Mayor Anderson.
Present.
Thank you. If you will, stand with me for our opening prayer and pledge. Heavenly Father, we give thanks for the privilege and responsibility to serve the city of Fairview. We ask for your guidance and wisdom as we deliberate and make decisions that will impact the lives of our citizens. May we always strive to be just, fair, and compassionate in our actions. Lord, unite our hearts and minds in a spirit of cooperation and understanding. Forgive our sins and guide us to make decisions that reflect your will and honor your name. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance All right. Do we have any citizen comments tonight?
No.
Right, no citizen comments this evening. Approval of agenda for tonight's meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
Right. We have McDonald and Callie. Ms. Howell.
Vice Mayor McDonald.
Aye.
Mr. Callie.
Aye.
Mr. Pape.
Aye.
Mr. King.
Aye.
Mr. Ritt.
Aye.
Ms. Schulist.
Aye.
Mayor Anderson.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 6, approval of minutes from the regular February 10th, 2026 meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Callie Pape. Vote, please.
Mr. Callie.
Aye.
Mr. Pape.
Aye.
Mr. King.
Aye.
Mr. Ritt. Ms. Schulist.
Aye.
Vice Mayor McDonald.
Aye.
Mayor Anderson.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right. Item 7, old business, none tonight. Item 8, new business. Item A, PC Resolution PC 826, rezoning 7252 Northwest Highway, map 21, parcel 50.03, acreage 29.17. Current zoning is RS 40. Property owner is Johnny Warden. Staff report, please.
Good evening, Planning Commission. North American Realty, as the applicant, on behalf of the owner, Mr. John Warden, has requested a rezone of a 2.7 acre parcel of tax map 21, parcel 5804, and a 29.17 acre portion of tax map 21, parcel 58, totaling 31.95 acres. You can see both of those highlighted in blue on your screen. The current zoning district is RS 40. All surrounding properties are located within the municipal boundaries of Fairview and contain either single-family residential or agricultural land uses. All adjacent properties are zoned RS 40, except for 2 parcels located to the east, which are zoned commercial general. Although these 2 parcels are zoned commercial general, they contain single-family residential uses. The Fairview Forward 2040 plan identifies these parcels as new residential medium neighborhood, future land use classification within the Fairview Forward 2040 plan. This future land use classification notes appropriate land uses as single-family detached residential, single-family attached residential limited to 2-family houses, civic institutional, multifamily residential, and mixed-use commercial or office. The new residential medium neighborhood future land use classification lists 3 zone districts as appropriate. These zone districts are RS 40, R20 with a PUD, and a new district that would permit traditional neighborhood development. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission provide a favorable recommendation to the Fairview Board of Commissioners to approve this request to rezone all 31.95 acres of the property with the following condition: that the rezoning will be placed on Thursday, April 2nd, Board of Commissioners meeting for consideration, with the potential for the public hearing and second reading to be held at Thursday, May 7th.
Move for approval?
Second.
All right. Vote.
There's a representative tonight
Oh,
if
I'm
you have
sorry.
any questions.
Go ahead. Is there a representative that wishes to speak on associated with the project?
To a single-family residential subdivision similar to Orange-Shire, and, 20,000 square foot lots. Nothing more than that, so.
Can you state your name and
Oh,
address?
yeah, sorry. Nathan Ledbetter, and I'm with NADG. My address is 6677 Hastings Lane, Franklin, Tennessee.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from the Planning Commission?
It says on the resolution, acreage 29.17, but you said it's 30-something acres?
Yeah, so that map is the L-shaped part.
Yeah, I understand that, but shouldn't that be in the resolution also?
So the agenda that we got on digitally has the right, but the printed out agenda says 29.17.
Correct. It is,
Yeah, it looks like the draft resolution has the correct, it adds them together for the 31, so it's just on the agenda itself.
yes, so it's a 29.17 is one of the parcels, and a 2.78 acre portion of the smaller northern parcel on the screen, for a total of 31.95 acres is what is in the official resolution,
What do they want to change the zoning to?
from RS 40 to R20.
Madam Chairman.
Sure.
Ethan, one other question. Is that the 29.17 acre parcel, is that its own parcel now, or?
That is its own parcel. Between Thanksgiving and now, it has been made its own parcel, yes. You can, as you can see on the map, this was a larger parcel. There was that larger parcel was split into 4 pieces. And you can see the 2 adjacent parcels directly to the left on the screen, and then the third is up in the top corner up on the screen.
Everything else around there is RS 40, except for this parcel now?
Correct. You do have Orange-Shire, which sits southwest of this project.
And the townhome property to the west that it's adjacent to.
There is a commercial general project that is being developed as RM8 that is directly to the east of this.
With approximately 32 acres at RS 20, any idea how many homes you're looking
I
at?
don't think we'd get more than 50, if anything. And we're all also at the mercy of sewer capacity, which, as you guys know, is a pretty big problem at Dixon. So, but just given to the geometry of the property, I think we would be somewhere between 40 and 50 lots at that R20.
Madam Chairman,
Sure.
you know, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but since that was brought up, I just have a question. As far as connectivity goes for this piece, would the only access to it be off of Highway 96?
That's right.
Just with the limitations of how many homes can be, that would be anything over 30 with only one in and out would require sprinklers to be added to the homes.
Okay.
Just so you're aware.
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Sure.
Now, this might be a future thing, but as far as any traffic studies, have you guys did any preliminary studies like that?
No, I'm not aware that one is due for anything less than, 50. Typically, anything over 50 triggers a traffic study, but we haven't done one yet.
Just curious because of the churches that are on the road, right? If you don't live here in Fairview, trying to go anywhere on 96 on a Sunday,
Yeah,
it's not only is it church traffic come in and out, but you have law enforcement out there directing traffic, the strain of that, just something it'll probably come up later.
yeah,
Thank you.
noted.
One other question, this might be more for Mr. Greer. Can you just explain to everybody the impact that the new zoning regulations potentially play on this, if any?
As far as what is projected in the current draft zoning map?
Yeah,
or-
just how it plays a role with the timing of this, how we're, if first read is in 2 days, if it was to pass, like just
Assume
walk
the
us
best?
through that. Yeah, like how does
Okay.
that work?
So assuming the best case scenario for the development code, the first read will be held on Thursday night on March 19th, and the second and final read would be on April 2nd. If that were to pass, this property is slated in the draft zoning map in the new development code to convert to CD3. We have had this discussion with the applicant. They have continued to pursue rezoning this property. In the event that the development code is delayed, they are still able to move forward with their plans for what they would like to do. Their product fits within both of those, either CD3L, which most closely relates to R20, or CD3 could provide them some variability of lot sizes within this development, still constrained by water and sewer demands and access along Highway 96. But as far as when they gain vested rights, that would be when they have a development plan that is approved. So a zoning holds no weight until you have a vested plan approved by the Planning Commission. And so for them to continue moving forward in their process of obtaining the correct zoning, they've chosen to continue on this path. If the development code beats their May 7th date of second and final read of this item, then they would automatically inherit what the zoning is within the draft zoning map.
Thank you.
Mr. Ledbetter, has a conversation been had yet with Water Authority of Dixon?
Yes.
Have they indicated you have to do a step or
No, I've got 50 lots of capacity.
50, you said?
50, yep, for this tract. So I've got, I've already paid the fee, application, and we should have a will serve letter any day now. And then, if for some reason I am able to grow this deal as I've gotten to know the wardens, then we probably would be looking to reverting to a on-site step system, because we do have experience with that in other areas of Williamson County.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion or questions from the Planning Commission?
I have one more, just, again, apologies, not for the applicant, this is more for Mr. Greer, but I think I know the answer to this, I just want to be beneficial to have it spoken out loud. If this rezoning was not to be approved tonight, upon the passing of the new regulations, this property would go to the CD3?
That is correct,
Okay,
unless the Board of Commissioners felt the need to amend the draft zoning map.
correct, okay, thank you.
What is CD3?
CD3 permits a gross density of 4 homes per acre, with a minimum lot size of 70 feet in width and a maximum lot width of 110 feet wide. It is still a single-family home district that only permits exclusively single-family homes to be built.
Not knowing how many homes that would actually end up being in the CD4, it sounds like, though, if we were to stick with the original zoning, obviously what's permissible is the R20 with a PUD, but then that would allow up to 50% lot
Chair,
size.
if I may, and I know the board knows this, but I want to remind you all that the application you're dealing with is the one that's in front of us. You do not have the discretion to be talking about what's going to happen in the future if the zoning code is approved or other forms of application. This is the application. We have to apply the standards that are on the books today. You are exceeding you're exceeding your power in utilizing discretion that's not at your hand when we're engaging in this conversation. So I would be remiss not to mention that.
Sure. As I was finishing, I would prefer the request that's on the table than an R20 PUD with a PUD, just because it would reduce the lot sizes and we would be met with more density than less. So that's my thought, is preferring what's in front of us in lieu of denying and then having it come back around with more density.
Mr. Carter,
I hear you when you
in the 2040 plan, it does recommend for it to be a R20 PUD, I think is what the chair's getting at.
Correct.
Sure, and that's that is fine, but I think we have to deal with the application that's in front of us. We shouldn't even be contemplating denying it. If this meets the standards that are on our books today, then you need to vote to approve it unless it's deficient in some way. So that needs to be the discussion rather than what it could be or what it might be in the future. I hear what the chair is saying, and that comment is not necessarily at you. It was the prior conversation we were engaging in.
Are there any further comments or questions? All right. Hearing none, Ms. Howell, if you will, call our vote, please.
Mayor Anderson,
Aye.
Mr. Pape,
Aye.
Mr. Ritt,
Aye.
Ms. Ulyss,
Aye.
Mr. Callie,
Aye.
Mr. King,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McDonald.
Aye.
All right, motion passes 7-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item 8B, PC Resolution PC 926, rezoning 7320 Fernvale Road, map 42, parcel 109, acreage 4.81. Current zoning is RS40, property owner Roger Lewis. Staff, if you'll give your report, please.
Ms. Marcy Sweet with Sweet Agency is the applicant on behalf of the owner, Mr. Roger Lewis, to a request to rezone the entire 4.8 acres of property at 7320 Fernvale Road from RS40 to R20. The property is located west of the intersection of Fernvale Road and Hunting Camp Road. All surrounding properties are located within the municipal boundary of Fairview and contain either single-family residential or agricultural land uses. The Fairview Forward 2040 plan classifies this as new residential medium neighborhood. This future land use classification notes the appropriate land uses as single-family detached, single-family attached, civic institutional, multifamily residential, mixed-use commercial. The new residential medium future land use classification lists 3 zone districts as appropriate. These zone districts are RS40, R20 with a PUD, and a new district that would permit traditional neighborhood development conservation or conservation subdivisions. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission provide a favorable recommendation to the Fairview Board of Commissioners to approve this request to rezone all 4.8 acres of property. This with the following condition: this rezoning request will be placed on Thursday, April 2nd, 2026, Board of Commissioners meeting for consideration, with the potential for a public hearing and second reading being held at the Thursday, May 7th, 2026 Board of Commissioners meeting.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve 926.
Second?
Callie McDonald. Is there a representative here tonight that wishes to speak on behalf of the project? All right. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Howe, if you will, call or vote, please.
Mr. Kelly,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McDonald,
Aye.
Mr. Pate,
Aye.
Mr. King,
Aye.
Mr. Ritt,
Aye.
Ms. Schulis,
Aye.
Mayor Anderson.
Aye.
All right, motion passes 7-0. All right, moving on to item 8C, PC Resolution PC 1026. Rezoning of 7703 Horn Tavern Road, map 22, parcel 135, acreage 2.01. Current zoning is RS40. Property owner Jeff Pack. Mr. Greer, if you'll give us a staff report, please.
Mr. Pack, the property owner and applicant, has submitted a request to rezone the entire 2.01 acre parcel located at 7703 Horn Tavern Road. The property is currently zoned RS40 and is currently vacant. The rezoning request is for the entire parcel to RS15. All surrounding properties are located within the municipal boundary of Fairview and contain single-family detached residential land uses. The properties to the north across Horn Tavern are zoned RS15 and contain Pepper Tree Residential Subdivision. The properties to the south and east are zoned RS40, and the property to the west, 7711 Horn Tavern Road, is currently zoned R20 and is on the Planning Commission agenda as the following item, which is also a request to rezone that property to RS15. Fairview Forward 2040 Comprehensive Plan designates this property as Legacy Residential Medium, which lists appropriate zoning districts as RS40 and R20, and the appropriate land use as single-family detached residential. The requested zone district of RS15 is not in alignment with the Legacy Residential Medium future land use classification. Additionally, the owner and applicant stated to staff that their desires to construct 2 single-family residences on the property. The construction of single-family residences would be in alignment with the Legacy Residential Medium future land use classification. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission provide a favorable recommendation to the Board of Commissioners to approve the request to rezone the 2.01 acre portion of 7703 Horn Tavern Road with the following condition, that this rezoning request will be placed on Thursday, April 2nd, 2026 Board of Commissioners meeting for consideration with the potential for the public hearing and second reading to be held at the Thursday, May 7th Board of Commissioners meeting.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve PC 1026.
Second.
Callie Anderson. All right. Is there a representative here tonight associated with the project? All right. Mr. Greer, this one and the next item on the agenda are essentially requesting the same, correct?
Correct.
They're connected.
Correct.
This, is that a private or a public road between the two parcels?
Between the two parcels is a driveway that goes to the parcel at the bottom of the screen behind it.
And it also goes all the way to the other, well, at least on the map it does.
It can. You can access Highway 96, yes, but that is Mr. Pack's personal residence there, that driveway accesses.
Is the idea to keep the driveway in place? Is it an easement, maybe?
Correct. It is an easement today.
Okay, and then just develop on either side?
Correct.
So the entry for those homes would be off of Horn Tavern and not off of his private?
Correct. They
Driveway.
would have to be, they would most likely be off of Horn Tavern.
Got it. That was the only question I had. Any other questions or comments from the Planning Commission?
Ms. Chair,
Sir, Mr. King.
I mean, I just want to comment and point out that, it's not in alignment with the 2040 plan. And I know a lot of time the argument ends up being, well, the parcel across the street was rezoned and is zoned RS15. But I don't think just because something was incorrectly rezoned at some point in time that we should then match the rest of the area. So that's why I'll be voting no on this.
Chair.
Mayor?
So there's a little topography issue, right? The reason he's wanting R15?
The applicant stated in
RS15.
our staff applicant meeting that there's a stream that flows along the adjacent parcel, and he's looking to build 4 or 5 homes total on the two parcels together. And because of that stream, it prohibits quite a bit with having a stream on your property and what you can and can't do within the proximity of that stream. And so that was their stated reason for seeking this rezoning.
Continuation of this comment. So I get that we always want to try to follow the 2040 plan, but in some situations where there's a hardship, I think looking at it on a case-by-case basis is something that we can consider.
I think probably a better way to say that is what's the intent of the 2040 plan
As a guide,
guide?
right.
And I think that comment taken in that context, I think, is correct.
Thank you.
Mr. Greer, without the applicant being here to confirm, are you aware if they chose RS15 instead of RS20 just because of there's not enough frontage to make it RS20?
That was one of their concerns to accomplish their goal of what they wanted to do.
Okay. Any other questions, concerns? All right, hearing none. Ms. Howell, if you will, call our vote, please.
Mr. Kelly,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Anderson,
Aye.
Mr. Ritt,
Aye.
Ms. Shoelist,
Aye.
Mr. Pape,
Aye.
Mr. King,
No.
Vice Mayor McDonald.
Aye.
All right, motion passes 6-1. Item 8D, PC Resolution PC 1126, rezoning 7711 Horn Tavern Road, map 22, parcel 136, acreage 2.22, current zoning R20, property owner Jeff Pack. And again, Mr. Greer, if you will give us the staff report here.
I'm going to abbreviate this one since it is primarily the exact same as the last one. This property was previously rezoned a few months ago from RS40 to R20 at the owner's request, and now they are seeking to zone it to RS15. The reasons that were given were to be able to utilize both of these parcels side by side to build single-family homes on. The only condition on this item is that the rezoning request will be placed on Thursday, April 2nd, 2026 Board of Commissioners meeting agenda for consideration, with the potential for the public hearing and second reading to be held at the Thursday, May 7th Board of Commissioners meeting.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve PC 1126.
Second.
Callie Pape. I assume there's no one here to speak on the project tonight, but I will ask anyway if there's anyone here associated that would like to speak on behalf of this item. All right. Any other questions, comments on this item? All right, hearing none. Ms. Howell, if you will call our vote, please.
Mr. Kelly,
Aye.
Mr. Pape,
Aye.
Mr. King,
No.
Mr. Ritt,
Aye.
Ms. Shoelist,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McDonald,
Aye.
Mayor Anderson.
Aye.
All right, motion passes 6-1. All right, final item under 8E, PC Resolution PC 1226, Site Development Plan 7008 Glenhaven Drive, map 47H, Group A, parcel 19.01, acreage .51, current zoning commercial general, property owner Raymond McHale. All right, Mr. Greer, if you'll give us a staff report, please.
Chase Kerr with Crunk Engineering has submitted on behalf of the owner a site plan to construct a 7,900 square foot multi-tenant commercial building containing 3 tenant spaces on property located at 7008 Glenhaven Drive, which is on the south side of Glenhaven Drive and east of the intersection with Fairview Boulevard. The site plan also illustrates all required parking, stormwater infrastructure, landscaping, and all necessary water and wastewater infrastructure. The parcel contains 0.51 acres and is zoned commercial general. The requested land uses are commercial general, convenience store, and restaurant. The total area of development is 0.64 acres, which includes a portion of the adjacent property at 2431 Fairview Boulevard. A subdivision plat is required to be submitted and recorded prior to the issuance of a certificate of occupancy for the proposed retail center. The 0.13 acre portion of 2431 Fairview Boulevard will be utilized to move the western property boundary of 7708 Glenhaven Drive to create a rectangular lot for the construction of the parking area for the proposed retail center. Staff recommends the Planning Commission approve the Jingo Retail Center Development Plan in order to construct a 7,900 square foot multi-tenant commercial building containing 3 tenant spaces along with all required parking, stormwater infrastructure, and landscaping, and all necessary water and wastewater infrastructure. There are 2 exceptions that are listed within the resolution. Those 2 exception requests are a tree bank exception request and a underground stormwater detention exception request. We're happy to advise on that. The underground stormwater detention exception request, they're intending on utilizing the existing above-ground stormwater pond that is located on the adjacent property that the owner also owns. Most of you know Jingo Market. That pond is what will be utilized with this piece as well. And there is a representative tonight to help answer any questions that y'all may have.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve PC 1226.
Second?
Callie McDonald. All right. Whomever is here tonight associated with the item, if they want to step forward, state your name and address for the record, please.
Hello, this is Chase Kerr with Crunk Engineering, 7112 Crossroads Boulevard. Here representing for the engineering. We also have the owner and a representative for the architecture team if there's any questions that come up. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, I open this up to the Planning Commission. One question I have, it looks like there's, out on the street, Glen Haven Drive, looks like there's just a 1/2 inch of rolled curb to be added, it looks like, maybe, but no gutters, no stormwater, because I don't think there's an existing curb and gutter there, right?
Correct.
Any,
Speak to that.
yes, any particular reason why?
Chase, do you want to take a stab at it?
Sure thing. So we have worked with the city staff on this item that you just mentioned regarding the Glen Haven Drive roadway improvements as a part of this development. And the city staff recommended, as a part of the roadway improvements, widening the southern lane of Glen Haven Drive to 12 feet, installing a 6-inch post curb, 5.5-foot grass strip, and 6-foot sidewalk as a part of the roadway improvements. And that's what we've incorporated. We feel like that's a fair roadway improvements, and we are adding those roadway improvements not just in front of 7008 Glen Haven Drive, but also along the Jingo Market property along Glen Haven Drive from the intersection of Highway 100 to the easternmost property line.
Is the post curb only on one side?
Yes, it's just on the southern portion of Glen Haven Drive.
Gotcha. And so if, for whatever reason, if another commercial business were to come in on the other side of Glen Haven, they would obviously have to put in a curb, maybe even a gutter, and storm.
Depending on connectivity to other stormwater in the area, yes, or how they design it in their way, yes. With this site design, they've been able to utilize that existing stormwater pond to direct it to that, and then utilize the TDOT drainage system to, as it is existing, drain Glen Haven Drive into Highway 100. I believe I got that right.
Do the stormwater calculations support an additional development?
Yeah, so something we failed to mention is that there is going to be upgrades to that existing stormwater pond so that additional stormwater can be handled in that area.
Got it.
Madam Chair?
Mr. Babe?
I just think, I think we missed a few variances that this plan would require. Based on the way I read our design standards, there should be a 20-foot landscape strip across the front of a shopping center, less than 4 acres. That's obviously not here. Their plans submitted show 20% slopes 13-102.2 of our zoning ordinance says if you have 20% slopes, you essentially can't develop on it. That wasn't mentioned. There's also 8-foot buffer strip required between residential property and here, and they have the 8 foot, but it's supposed to be a continuous strip with trees 10 foot on center. I don't think it quite qualifies for that when you have residential zoning next to it. I just say all that. I think we're trying to squeeze way too much into this site, and there's just too many variances. And again, I think we missed a few. So I just think it's too much. That's my opinion.
Any other feedback? Any other questions while staff forms this response?
Just to clarify, I wasn't necessarily looking for a response. I was just stating my opinion. So.
Sure.
Madam Chair,
Sure.
I would be interested to hear what staff has to say about those comments, though.
I would as well.
Thanks.
Selfishly, I was hoping that staff was looking for a response.
While they look up the landscape buffer and the 8-foot buffer. In regards to the 20% slopes, we've always treated that as, I mean, Mr. Pape is correct, slopes 20% or greater can either be open space or this is in regards to residential. Let me back up. Portions of the development site that contain slopes of 20% or greater shall be retained as undisturbed open space in commercial, industrial, and multifamily developments. And then in the next sentence, after the next one it says the city engineer or their designee shall on a case-by-case basis grant special consideration for disturbance 20% slopes or greater in areas such as site accesses, roadway networks, and other similar design restraints. I believe, Chase, what was the square footage we had for that steep slope area? You recall?
Um, 5,000 square feet, I believe.
So it says, after that sentence, it says steep slope standards shall not apply to isolated steep slopes with contiguous areas of less than 5,000 square feet. So he hit the threshold. I reviewed that steep slope area. It seems to be a separation of semi-flat piece of land, it's hard to say in Fairview, with the existing parking lot. And that particular area, I mean, if they couldn't disturb it, this property would be unusable. There'd be no access to it as far as connecting to that existing parking lot. So in my professional opinion, I felt like it was, a design restraint that we could approve.
And let me just respond to that real quick. You're talking about the stormwater design regulations.
Yes, sir.
I was referencing the zoning ordinance because the zoning ordinance 13-102.2 with impermeable area, and you're right. It basically our zoning ordinance says if there's 20% slopes on the site, then you have to multiply your impermeable area by 0, which means you can't develop it. And I mean, in my opinion, if there's two different ordinances, two different regulations within our city, you have to go with the more stringent, and the zoning ordinance more stringent, in my opinion. So I think it would require a variance to get around that. That's, we're tasked with following our ordinances, and that's just what I'm trying to do. So.
Sure.
Based on that, would it be best to defer the item to have it brought back with the variances requested? I'm just course of action moving forward.
I think that's an option that the applicant can request, and if it's requested, then I think the decision about whether to grant that or not, I would certainly think it would be Fair request.
Mr. Broadbent, do you have further responses to the other questions that Commissioner Pape asked?
I am deeming those as planning related. I believe they're working on it. If
Sure.
you just give them just a few more minutes.
Got it.
Madam Chair,
Sir?
while we're waiting for that, is there a reason that wouldn't be made into a retention pond versus a detention pond? Can you walk me through that a little bit?
Our idea for utilizing the existing stormwater pond was to maintain its existing use and provide any necessary improvements, widenings that would be required to include this additional impervious area. So we feel like it was and is working as it is right now. And so we wanted to maintain its current use and with the additional development.
Thank you.
All right. So for the 8-foot perimeter landscape was one of the questions that you brought up. We believe that they have met the 8-foot perimeter landscaping. The one piece that is not shown on here is having an opaque buffer, which could be accomplished by a fence. And then I believe the second reference you had was the shopping centers larger than 4 acres in size.
Less than 4 acres.
The landscape buffer.
Madam Chair,
Sir?
since we're just kind of sitting here, I'm going to think out loud for a second.
Go nuts.
I think if there's potential variances identified that are not listed on the current application, I think it would probably be in the best interest to bring this back with those variances listed so we can speak to each individual one and we know exactly what we are or are not approving. It seems like there's a little bit of confusion on whether or not those variances should be listed. Maybe they shouldn't be. I don't know. I'm just, if they should, I think they should be listed on there.
I would agree.
That being said, I'm not necessarily against this. I just think to be consistent.
So if I may comment, applicant, I think what some members of the planning commission are telling you is that you may get a denial tonight because they don't deem your application complete, because there's some information missing. So unless you ask for a deferral, you're risking having it denied.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the input. If I may discuss with the owner and developer real quick.
Sure.
Madam Chair,
Ma'am?
So I'm not real sure about if in our zoning code, it gives the staff opportunity to say if something should be a variance or not, and y'all have chosen to, that it is acceptable. I don't understand why we would go back and ask for it to be a variance since the staff has already said that you feel like these issues that are brought up are acceptable. Does that make sense? So I'm not convinced that the staff has not, in their educated opinions, not opinion, you know what I'm trying to say. The staff is educated in making decisions because they're educated in this. Okay. And so it's concerning to me that a board that may not have the same education is trying to say that the staff, after they've made a decision about these different items, should go back and say that they need to be variances now. Does that make sense? That's my concern.
That makes sense, Mayor. I can speak on the steep slopes, but I mean, we're all human. I mean, we can miss things too. So that's not out of the realm of possibility. I think these guys are working to see if they can come up with a solution that works for everybody. Just.
And I guess what I'm saying is that if there are variances, additional variances that need to be made, then, or there are items that are discussed up here that maybe the staff has already worked through, then those need to be differentiated. Does that make sense? Okay.
Madam Chair, to add to that, from my perspective, if there were items that would require a variance or they were on the border, and there's no documentation of that, the discussion between staff and the applicant, it would be nice to be made aware of those so that when we bring up something that's already been decided, there's a paper trail for that. Because I just look at if there are 100 of these applications that come through that are all on the border of needing a variance or they meet some kind of, borderline regulation, and we don't have that in writing, what risk are we having as a planning commission that everything is just kind of winging it? There's nothing that we have in writing that would give us something to point back to as precedents.
I guess what I would say about that is that some concern by some members of the Planning Commission that there should be variances listed that aren't. Staff is busily looking at their computers and regulations and their notes, and I don't think it's necessarily fair to put staff on a 5-minute timetable to come up with all the answers. And so if there's concerns that it's not complete and a request for deferral is asked for, then that will allow time for the applicant to talk to staff, and staff and the applicant may come back at the next meeting and say, we're satisfied it was complete. It's still our recommendation that you approve it, and then you'll have to make a decision, and you'll vote how you vote. But if there's any concern that it's not complete, as Mr. Pape eloquently stated and others have stated, then it would seem to me that a deferral's in the offing, and that your applicant's risking a denial if they continue this evening.
From a consistency standpoint, not only for the Planning Commission, but for the citizens to know what to expect when there are situations like this, that, if we ask a question about something and maybe it's approved, you guys already looked at it, how do we get that into the minutes, or how do we get that into some kind of written dialogue that is consistent, as we progress throughout the year.
Madam Chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just wanted to piggyback off that. I think that's kind of what I was trying to say, is the consistency piece is my concern, not necessarily your project or what you're trying to accomplish, but what I'm thinking of, if someone else brings a project forward that has similar variances that might be called out by staff and require us to consider those variances, they could point to this project and say, well, they had variances and you overlooked them. You didn't even discuss them. So I just, it's more of a consistency thing for me. I don't know, Mr. Carter, do you feel there's any?
I mean, so I don't know if Mr. Pape is right or wrong.
Right,
It's beyond my level of what I'm concerned about. It's beyond my level of education. It's beyond what I study and what I know. Mr. Pape does that for a living. So when he makes comments like that, I take them pretty seriously. I think it's unfair to put staff on a 5 or 10 minute timetable to try to figure it out. Their legitimate concerns. Mr. Pape is either right or wrong, and if he's correct and there needs to be some more work done on this, then there should be more work done on it. If the applicant and staff, if it's deferred, and applicant and staff get together and they determine that they can respond to that, then they'll respond to it at the next meeting, and Mr. Pape can either accept that or not. And the rest of you will also have a say. So I don't think it's a good practice to vote on things and try to get all the answers during a meeting. If there's things T's that have been crossed or I's that have been dotted, then I think it's always a good idea to make sure that that's done. At the same time, applicant needs to make a decision about whether they're going to ask for a deferral or not, given those concerns. If there's concerns, then I think there's risk for the applicant to proceed tonight. But they need to do that calculus.
Yes, sir. Thank you. If I may, as multiple members of the Planning Commission have stated, I'm not discrediting any. This is what you guys are here for. And like Curtis had said earlier, we're all human. We have come up with a plan that we believe has covered all bases except for the 2 variances and exceptions that we had listed. That being said, I would like to confirm with the owner and developer on how we'd like to proceed and go from there. Thanks.
Is the Planning Commission open to me discussing the steep slopes and why? Okay. Just to maybe buy them some more time to provide an answer for you on the landscape buffers. Hey, can you mention that zoning ordinance section one more, 13-101.3? Is that what you said?
13-102.2.
0.2.
And it involves impermeable surface. Commercial lots are allowed 80% impermeable surface. And then if there's 20% slopes or greater on the property anywhere, there's multiplying factors. And if it's greater than 20%, you multiply by 0, which means you can have 0 impermeable surface on this property. And that's a zoning regulation. That's something that requires a zoning variance, in my opinion. Again, it's my opinion. But
Sure. I guess I would just, my question to you would be, do you think the intention of that section of the zoning ordinance would be to limit the development of commercial properties when they have more than 20% slope?
I'm not here to interpret our zoning ordinance. That's what it says. It literally says if you have greater than 20%, you multiply your permissible impermeable area by 0, and that gets you 0 impermeable area. I don't know how any other way to interpret it. It's math at that point, is it not?
Yes, and the reason I'm choosing the stormwater ordinance is because it is a more recent document. And so that is why I've interpreted it that way. And that's the way I've been doing these applications, since I started. So that's the reasoning for why I chose the stormwater ordinance over this particular section of the zoning ordinance, because it talks about slope grading standards. And
right.
Yeah. So
and when And I totally agree with that. And when you've done that before, I've brought this up as a question too. And
Sure.
Mr. Carter, not to pull you into this, but if there's two regulations that both address the same thing, I've always been taught that you go with the more stringent of the two. You can't pick and choose. It has to meet both, and whichever is more stringent is the one that governs.
I think that's certainly a fair that's a maximum in contract and document review. So I can't fault you for saying that.
Okay, I know there's multiple conversations happening simultaneously. Staff, are you at a place where you can speak, or applicant, any updates you
As
want to
with
share?
many things in our documents, this buffer along the frontage is could be much better defined. I'll read you the exact language of what is in the design review manual. The landscape buffer width shall be 20 feet for shopping centers containing less than 4 acres. Within this landscape buffer shall be located the main signage for the shopping center and shall be a monument type sign not to exceed in height of 10 feet and shall be of like materials of the building facade and located as not to obstruct the site of the egress from the property. It does not state anything about what type of landscaping should be within that landscaping buffer. It doesn't say trees need to be planted every 8 feet. It doesn't say class 2 trees or shrubs or bushes or any of those things. In this, I feel that they have landscaping shown. It is not a 20-foot designated landscaping buffer that is shown. From a quick measurement, from the edge of the road to the backside of their landscaping is 17 feet, 10 3/4 of an inch. For that area that is shown there. And so, looking at this from that is a reg that is in there. That should have been included in their exemption request. I agree with Mr. Pape.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Kelly.
Can we get a response from the applicant?
To me, it sounds like there were some missing pieces to that needed to be as part of the variance request. And I'll let the applicant give their thoughts on that, but it sounds like we need to table this until next month or whenever.
I think they need to request a deferral, and if they
Request a
don't request a
deferral.
deferral, then you need to vote on it, and you need to vote consistent with an incomplete application.
So I will leave it up to the applicant.
While they discuss that, I want to
Sure.
speak on the 13-102.2 non-residential development. Mr. Pape, I believe you said that if it has greater than 20%, the entire property cannot be disturbed. The way I interpret it is that it is only those areas that contain the slopes that are greater than 20% that an adjustment factor, as you stated, of 0 can be used. So basically saying that that would be undisturbed. I wouldn't say the entire property can't be touched. Would you agree?
I'm not looking at it it now, but even if it is, that doesn't change the fact that they're disturbing, part of the 20% and they can't.
Correct. And then, that's number one, and it has that table. And then number 2A goes on to describe minimal disruptions. And so it talks about, natural slopes 20% or greater, and the approval of a final site development plan shall be based upon a demonstration that the development plan minimizes disturbance to these slopes.
I know, but when you do that, again, when you have a 1 and a 2, it's not either or, it's both regulations.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
But,
So,
Madam Chair, if I may.
Sure.
This is just, as they're discussing back there, food for thought. This is just my opinion. I don't see these variances as variances that I personally would have a problem approving. I just think it would be in our best interest to have them listed in the application that those variances are being requested. So for y'all in the back, for speaking for me, 1 of 9, I'm not against these variances. It's just my issue is that they're not currently listed in the application, which can't be addressed tonight. So I know a month is a delay, but I think if you could come back next month with these variances listed, from my perspective, I would be in favor of this project. But that is just my position.
Staff, can you remind us, if it is voted on and denied, what is the time frame in which the applicant could come back and start the process again? Is it a year?
I believe it is 1 year, but could be wrong.
Essentially the same application, it'd be 1 year.
1 year.
also, just for consistency, because we keep talking about that, if my memory serves me, when the self-storage thing next to the liquor store was brought up less than a year ago, one of the variances they requested, because they were in commercial zone, they had greater than 20% slopes, is they requested a variance for it. So I'm just trying to be consistent with things we've done in the past, so.
To recap that. Vote tonight, roll the dice. If you get a no, you wait a year. A deferral, you wait 4 weeks. So, yeah.
Sure.
Thank you for your patience, Planning Commission staff. As the applicant, we would request a deferral for 1 month to sort out everything and make sure everything is understood with the staff, us, and everybody else involved to make sure that all necessary exceptions are listed.
Thank you. Council, remind me, with the deferral, there's nothing to vote on. We're just voting on the deferral. So the original motion needs to be amended to be a motion to defer.
No, the motion to deferral, I think, is a primary motion, so I think
Okay.
someone can make a motion to defer, it'd be second, and vote on it.
Motion to defer based on the applicant's request
Second.
All right, McDonald, Cali,
for 1 month.
for 1 month. Okay. Hearing no other discussion, Ms. Howell, if you'll call that vote for deferral.
Vice Mayor McDonald,
Aye.
Mr. Kelly,
Aye.
Mr. Pate,
Aye.
Mr. King,
Aye.
Mr. Ritt,
Aye.
Ms. Shulis,
Aye.
Mayor Anderson.
Aye.
All right, motion for items deferral for 30 days or 1 month passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item 9, reports for discussion and information. City planning staff.
Thank you all for your time and consideration for tonight. Hope you all had a wonderful spring break. And thank you for being here on a third Tuesday of the month. Next month, we're back on schedule. The second Tuesday of the month is April 14th. I should know that. That is my birthday, so I'll get to spend my birthday with you all. No better place to be than here at work. My apologies for the agenda going out when it did, spring break and everything else. We're working with our staff. We actually sent out a job offer today to an associate planner to come join our staff. So we're excited about hopefully growing. Hopefully they'll be here by the next planning commission meeting. Y'all get to meet our new member. So we'll go from a small office to a slightly larger office. But thank you all for your time.
Thank you. City manager.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
City engineer.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
City attorney. All right. Planning Commission Roundtable. We will start with, actually, I'm going to start with Vice Chairman Pape.
Thank you. I just want to say to staff, I apologize for putting you guys on the spot tonight. Normally, I would email that stuff to you guys ahead of time. I just was so busy this week, I didn't have a chance to look at it till this afternoon. So in the future, I'll try to get you guys emailed those comments ahead of time so that we're not hashing this out and we can figure it out and you guys don't get hit blind by it. So I apologize for that. And thank you guys for everything you do.
Commissioner Callie.
Just a thanks to the staff. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and that's it.
Vice Mayor McDonald.
Yeah, I just want to say, staff, we appreciate the heck out of you. We understand that some things get overlooked, and that's not a negative on you guys. And this may not even be a case where it was an accidental overlook. It was just a difference of opinion. But I appreciate you guys being understanding through it, and apologize to the applicant for having to deal with that too. But I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Commissioner Ritt.
Just the same, echo that, but, I think consistency is sort of, a goal of all of ours on the planning commission, so that if a citizen comes in with something on a napkin or a big corporation comes in here, everyone's treated the same and they all have to meet the same marks. And that allows us to have a good history and, do the goodwill of the people. So, thanks.
Commissioner King.
Nothing for me tonight. Thank you.
Mayor Anderson.
Nothing tonight.
All right. Thank you again to staff. I also don't want the applicant to feel like we weren't excited about this, because any commercial development I get really excited about, even if it's just commercial office. But looking forward to getting our new zoning hopefully in place by the next couple of months. It'll be big for everybody. And I hope everyone has a lovely cold night tonight.
Oh, Lord.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.